Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. These are the days, minutes, hours leading to the return of the one of the world called Jesus Christ. And the reason why I want to do this lesson is because, according to prophecy, it seems salvation is even nearer than when we believed, because the Heavenly Father has this heated up. Now, that doesn't mean, you sell your house, sell your couch, and do something crazy, but just know that it seems like we are closer. Now, obviously, you see what's going on with the uproars of the people pertaining to, their dialogues about immigration and ICE. We see what today's June 14th. In Sacramento, there's going to be a whole bunch of protests and things like that. So there's that. They got the No Kings protest going on. You obviously see what's going on between Israel and Iran, how that's popped off. And also, this Minnesota Representative Hortman and husband killed Senator Hoffman and wife wounded in political motivated shootings. So there's a bunch of politically motivated shootings going on, shootings and attacks going on. So the Heavenly Father is moving, shaking, and working in these last days. And, continue to pray, continue to watch. You might want to get more serious and tighten up on your walk towards salvation, because as we can see, the trial period may be ending soon and all hell may be breaking loose soon. Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed, and State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were wounded in politically motivated shooting. Gov. Tim Walz and Saturday authorities have also identified a suspect who is still at large. Hortman and her husband were shot in their Brooklyn Park home, while Hoffman, 60, and his wife Yvette were shot about 5 miles away in their Chaplin home. Damn. Investigators say that they believe the suspect was dressed in a manner to appear like a police officer. So when these things happen, that's going to make people trust the police, trust that stuff less, and that makes it even more dangerous for the police, because they can't do their job of stopping people or dialogue with people if everybody thinks, well, this may be a fake person just trying to get me. While her husband died at North Memorial Health in Robbinsdale, in a press conference on Saturday afternoon, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans said Senator Hoffman is out of surgery and stable, but described his injuries as very serious. His wife's condition is unclear. Hortman, who leaves behind 2 children, was a member of Democratic Party who represented Minnesota House District 34B. So they identified the suspect, 57-year-old Vance Luther, and it's always an Edomite. See, here's the thing. They like to paint out, Jake and Israel as, the problem and stuff like that. Really, the average black man, all he wants to do is watch sports, watch NBA, the Pacers and OKC, bet on it, eat food, and try to mac on some of these honeys out here. But these Edomites, they're ready to go. They're ready to ride. So, these different Edomites, they're getting on each other, and that's all according to the scriptures. And also these different common folk, they're getting on these different higher ups. No Kings protests against Trump that place across U.S. ahead of military parade. Thousands of people have gathered in cities across the U.S. to join protests against President Donald Trump. The demonstrations, organized by a group called No Kings, was billed as a nationwide day of defiance at his policies. Lawmakers and unions and activists gave speeches in cities like New York, Philadelphia, and Houston to crowds waving American flags. And I behoove you, brothers, one, to stay away from that. You are to take no part in things like that. You already read Ecclesiastes 5 verse 8. But also, take no part in that. Stay away from that. Even if you kind of have plans to go hang out and stuff, and it's by that area. Kind of, you want to stay away from that because it's about to be active out there. A whole lot of shootings, whole lot of attacks. It's about to get ugly out of there. Protests are ways for both sides to get active on each other because they're all out. So be smart and stay away. Use wisdom. I know we're protected by the Heavenly Father and things like that, but you still got to use wisdom for the most part, because the scriptures say don't tempt the Lord. Without further ado, let's get into the scriptures. Romans chapter 13, verse 11, that knowing that the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe, right? So if you were having trouble, if you were sleeping, if you were getting distracted in things of the world, which we all have to work and do things like that, but if you're getting super distracted, now it's time to mount up because it's getting active. 2 Ezra 9, verse 3, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? So the Lord, he spake of these different things before the beginning, and he's letting you know that these are the times where he's getting ready to send his son back. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I sanctified them for me from the beginning, right? So whoever's going to be saved and delivered from these different things, they were already set in stone from the beginning. We don't know that, but you can't have a defeatist attitude. You still have to strive towards that mark as if you are. If you know you're faster than somebody, that doesn't mean that you just not race. You still got to race. You still got to sprint. You still got to beat them. But, you have the confidence of that speed, and that's how it is on your run with the Heavenly Father. You're confident that you're going to win. You're confident that you're going to be the elect, but you still got to run your race. You still got to sprint. You still got to run. You still got to strain. And that's what we're doing right now. We're running our race, but through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, keeping confidence that we are those people. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 16, for the sedition shall be among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. And this is what they're doing, because the governors, the presidents, the officers, those are the kings and princes and queens, etc. of this society. So for people to be attacking them, they're not regarding them. So, and this has nothing to do with us. This has nothing to do with the men of the Lord. None of us, so go handle that with your own people. Y'all who want to run propaganda and say things and troll people and do things like that, go handle that with your own people, because, the scriptures tell us not to do this. And a lot of these Edomites, they be doing stuff like this. That ain't us. Go handle that with your own. But I don't want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.